Hey, it's Aaron here, and in this video I'm going to share with you how to genuinely care for people, even if you don't really like people that much. See, we've all met that person who's got a very judgmental, cynical view of everyone, and literally everything that comes out of their mouth is negative. So, how do you see the good in someone else and have compassion for them, and have it be genuine and not an act? Well, if you implement the tips I'm about to share with you in this video, you're going to have much happier, more fulfilling, quality relationships with everyone in your life, okay? And it will even help you become a more effective leader. See, the sad reality is that most people just don't genuinely care for other people, right? They're too wrapped up in their own shit. They're too busy doing whatever they're doing. They don't have time for others. And that's part of the problem. So let me tell you a quick story. So one of my friends felt like he was missing out on life because he felt like he couldn't connect with anyone on a deeper level than just surface level, right? And I later found out that the reason for this was because he believed that caring for someone and being empathetic was a trait that you're born with. And he didn't believe he possessed that trait, so therefore he didn't even try, right? And I later made him realize that being empathetic and caring for someone is not a trait, it's a skill, okay? And we can actually learn it, we can actually improve it. And when he did that, he started connecting deeper with the people they actually cared about. And now his life is much, much better. Okay, so that leads me nicely into my first point. Practice empathy and being nice to people. Now, if you know Dwayne Johnson or The Rock, he has a quote which I absolutely love, and I'm going to share it with you. So he was saying how he learned this quote when he was 15 years old, and he's ingrained it in his DNA, and he takes it with him everywhere he goes. And the quote goes like this: "It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice." And he lives by this, and I really believe that this is one of the main reasons why he's so successful, why so many people like him, because he's nice to everyone. And think about it, if you're nice to everyone, it's going to put you in a positive mental state every time you're nice to someone. Number two is to understand we're all the same, all right? If you think you're different to others, stop. You're not, okay? Sure, you might have some cultural differences, but when it comes down to it, we all have dreams, we all have fears, we all have desires, and we all have flaws, all right? All we want to be is happy. We're all human at the end of the day. And if you think that you're better than other people, then it's always going to show in your interactions. And at best, you'll have superficial relationships, which I'm sure is not what you want, right? See, the people that are successful in life are those that have done the work. That's it. That's the only differentiator. That's the only thing that helps us elevate in life, is those that have done the work. Everything else is the same. And to illustrate this, one of my favorite quotes is from a guy called Conor McGregor, who's an MMA fighter, UFC guy, you might know him. And he said, "Talent does not exist. We are all equals as human beings. You could be anyone if you put in the time." And that's one of my favorite quotes of all time, because he's achieved so much, right, in such a short space of time. And he said he's not talented. Everyone perceives him as being talented, but he's not. He said we're all equals as human beings, and that's the key. We're all equal. This is what we need to understand, because problems arise when people think they're above other people. No one's above anyone. It doesn't matter who you are, we all have problems. No one's perfect. So understand that every single person you meet is going through a struggle you know nothing about until you talk with them. And that leads me nicely to point number 3. When we do talk to them, we need to really try to listen as much as possible and really try to understand them and their point of view. And it needs to come from a place of love. You need to focus on them, face them, have eye contact, be present, stop whatever you're doing, ask some questions, and then try and understand how they feel. Okay, this is the gift that you can give to every single person you meet for the rest of your life. You see, people really appreciate it when you're present and you really let them be heard. Okay, and if you only did one thing in your relationships, do that. It's that powerful. Just let them talk. It's what therapists do. They just listen without judgment. Okay, so you can already do this without having to be a therapist. But the key is without judgment. And that's where all the problems are, right? Because we're always judging everyone. So in the next video, I'm going to go more in depth on how to stop judging other people. So stay tuned for that one. Now, a great example of this is an experience I had of one of my friends who was going through some tough relationship problems, and he wasn't himself at all, right? So instead of me just being wrapped up in my world and, doing my work and telling him to man up, I actually took some time out of my schedule over the course of a few days and spent a few hours with him every day for a few days, and was just present with him, just gave him the gift of me being present with him and really listening to what he had to say, listening to him talk about his problems. That's it. And when he asked me for advice, I gave it to him. But this is completely the opposite of what most people do. Most people just tell you what to do. That's what I used to do, but I didn't realize that this form of offering help when they don't need it is actually not caring for them, right? We think it is, but it's not, right? Like, it just makes things worse, totally, all the time, okay? People will ask for help when they need it. And this is especially true with women, okay? Because remember, when it comes to personal relationships, remember what I told you before, people want to feel understood. That's it. What I've learned is that we don't actually need to help them, because when someone's going through something, they don't actually want help. Okay, they just want to know that we understand them, that we hear them, and that we care about them. Okay, and we do this by listening. That's it. We don't interrupt, we don't interject, and we don't recommend things that they should be doing. We just listen. See, if you just tell someone what they should do, then that shows that you haven't bothered to listen and understand them. And this is what I used to do for so long, and it's what most people do, right? Thinking that we're helping, but we're actually not. I would genuinely want to help the person and think I was helping, but I actually wasn't, okay? And this is the point that I really want to communicate to you, is if you tell someone what they should do, then what that does is it makes them feel like they have no control in their own life, okay? And then the result of that is they don't get to own whatever you just told them. And the result of that is they don't do it, because they don't own the decision. It came from you and not them. That's what I learned the hard way. It's so powerful. Plus, what's worse is they don't feel like you really understand them, because you just told them what to do, which sub-communicates that you don't really care. Okay, I used to do this all the time with my mom. She'd always come to me with problems, and you know, like everyone's mom has problems, right? And I would just tell her what to do. I would give her a solution straight away without actually listening and trying to understand her point of view. Total fail. And she would always resent me. She'd be like, "Oh, you don't understand me." Have you ever heard that before? That's a result of what I'm talking about, is seeking to understand people instead of just telling them what to do. You don't have to do anything magical, just listen, all right? And that brings you nicely onto my final point, which is to look for the good in other people. Now, ironically, the first step to looking for the good in others is to start seeing the positive qualities about yourself. And then you'll be able to notice those qualities in other people. The problem is we don't look for it, okay? Scientists have called this the negativity bias, which basically means we're walking around wearing these glasses that highlight everyone's bad side, okay? Which means we're more likely to notice the bad qualities in others rather than the good ones. The things that worry us or make us critical, we're gonna notice because we're looking at the world through these glasses. So then we create stories around the fact that we don't like people, and then we continue to see the negative things about people. Well, simple solution is to just take off the glasses, and then we'll be able to notice the good things in others simply by looking for it. It's a simple but powerful way to feel happier, more confident, and become a more loving person. So in summary, the good news is we can grow our empathy on purpose through practice, okay? And to genuinely care about other people, we need to consciously put the effort in and apply the tips I just gave you in this video, okay? Because becoming more curious in others is going to dramatically improve the quality of your relationships. I guarantee it. So if you like this video, and if you feel like you're lacking in meaningful relationships in your life, then check out the presentation I created below. It's all about how to create a thriving social life and how to have the skill set of creating high quality connections with people that you actually want in your life. All right, so if you're interested in that, check it out below. If not, I hope you enjoyed the video. My name is Aaron, and I'll talk to you in the next one where we talk about judgment and how to stop judging other people. All right, see you then.